Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ask an Action Coach. And lately, Jackie and I, we have been talking about the 6 keys to a winning team because it's important in this great resignation that we're all going through right now for leaders to make sure that they've got a winning team and a space where their team wants to thrive and stay. So we're up to the third key to a winning team, and that's rules of the game. And I'm wondering about this one. Does that mean like everyone has to read and sign that they've read the employee handbook?
That is a good point, but not necessarily. That might be a component of it, but rules of the game really are your culture. And your culture really is, we think about the culture as let's say, loose, tight culture, meaning that if you think about a football game, there is a field and there are boundaries within that field. But within there, people can move around depending on their position, depending on what the defense is doing, they can move around freely. So in a culture, that there's a couple components of great rules of the game, or culture as we call it. There is the written component. Your culture should be written down, because if you don't write down your culture and you don't actively use your culture, a culture will be created for you. And we all know what it's like when you're in a bad culture. You walk in and it's just everything is heavy and it just isn't a good place to be. We also know when we're in a great culture where people are working together and people are rewarding each other, they're helping each other, they're educating themselves, all of those great things. Yeah. So part of this is deciding, you and your team decide what virtues are important to you, such as, like, we have 14 points of culture. A couple of them are commitment, success, education. My favorite is fun, making sure we have fun. So those are just a couple of points of culture. So make sure that you write it, it's available, and you're always using it. One of the things that we do in our own business is we look at our points of culture one at a time. Every time we meet, every Monday morning or every Monday afternoon, when we meet, we always are reviewing a point of culture. What does it mean for us? How somebody exhibited it? Those kinds of things. So it's always in front of us, right?
Yep. In fact, I've got our 14 points of culture right here, because not only do I like it when we talk about them in our meetings on Monday afternoons, I sometimes will take an opportunity to journal about what that means to me. I'll read what it is and then actually write a few sentences about, beyond what we've already all agreed that ownership means to us. What does it mean to me personally and how I do my job? So
exactly. So if I move, my points of culture are right here. So as you can tell it, they're actively, for both of us, they're actively there and we're actively thinking about them. Yep. So as leaders and as owners, you want to make sure that you have culture points by which you live by. So that's kind of the rules of the game, by how we treat each other, how we are in the community, how we are with our vendors, everything.
Yep.
So those are the 14 points of culture. One of them should be to turn your phone off before you start these.
Mine beeped too, so somebody's sending a group text, I suspect.
So anyway,
that's fun. That's the fun part of our
that's
culture.
the fun part, right?
Yep,
and
exactly.
the unexpected. So I guess what I'm saying is, culture is how you live, how you want to be seen in the community, how you want to treat each other. It should be written, should be available, it should be used. And that is how you hire, that is how you fire, and that is how you conduct daily business.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you for wrapping that up in a perfect little bow. And if you're out there thinking to yourself, boy, I don't know if I'm creating my culture, I feel like my culture is being created without me, go ahead and set up a conversation with Coach Jackie. We would be happy to set up a phone call or a Zoom meeting, even an in-person meeting these days. So thank you so much for watching, Jackie, and we will see you next time.
Bye.